Speaker McCarthy, who said this is a deal worthy of the American people. But then Chip Roy, congressman, bone-ribbed conservative, he supports you. He said pretty bluntly, plus $4 trillion, no. So there's a fracture in the Republican Party. Where do you stand, Governor?
Well, prior to this deal, Kayleigh, our country was careening towards bankruptcy. And after this deal, our country will still be careening towards bankruptcy. And to say you can do $4 trillion of increases in the next year and a half, I mean, that's a massive amount of spending. I think that we've gotten ourselves on a trajectory here really since March of 2020 with some of the COVID spending. It totally reset the budget, and they're sticking with that. And I think that that's just
yeah, this is a winning strategy, guys. No, keep talking about how, like, we got to balance the budget, man. Yeah, no, definitely. See, Ron DeSantis is a fucking loser. Okay, we already knew that. But one of the main reasons why he's a loser is because instead of getting fatter, he decided to get on Ozempic. Okay? Everybody knows you need to be fatter, not skinnier. Okay? It's big boy season.
Is going to be totally inadequate to get us in a better spot. Look, in Florida, we run big budget surpluses. We have a $1.2 trillion economy, but our debt is only $17 billion, second lowest per capita in the country. But we make tough choices, and we make sure that we look forward to the long haul. Obviously, in Washington, D.C., they do these cycles to just get them through the next election, and that's ultimately one of the reasons why they continue to fail.
Governor, you're now in contention, or you're now in the contest to be the presidential candidate for the Republican Party in 2024. Obviously, the front runner is President Donald Trump. When I go out and I talk to Americans, I don't know that you all share all the same policy positions. I don't know that you share the same personality, but you do share a base of Republicans. Most of the people that
damn, this guy's cooking them, dude.
Support you probably voted for President Trump twice. And the first comment I hear over and over again is, why doesn't Ron DeSantis wait for President Trump's second term and then run? And what is your best answer to that? Why is right now the time for Ron DeSantis to run for president?
Because everyone knows if I'm the nominee, I will beat Biden and I will serve 2 terms, and I will be able to destroy leftist.
See, the 2-term thing is actually the most significant benefit. Every other part of this shit is goofy, okay? Everyone knows I can beat Biden. Like, the electability argument is dumb as fuck. Even though it kind of does basically say Trump lost without saying Trump lost. You know what I mean? But it reminds people that Trump did kind of lose to Biden, right? But you can't actually say Trump lost to Biden because 60% of the base is like, he never lost to Biden. They cheated him, right? So I guess that's how he has figured out a way to triangulate his perspective here. You know what I mean? To triangulate like a good talking point here without saying what he wants to say without actually saying it. Now, the last part, which he's about to mention here, I'm going to destroy woke ideology. What the fuck are you saying?
Be able to destroy leftism in this country and leave woke ideology on the dustbin of history.
Dude, you fire all of your advisors, dude. Fire them. They're so permanently online. They're so permanently online. I feel like those motherfuckers got banned from this broadcast, okay? We're going to destroy woke ideology and leave it in the dustbin of history. It's like, bro, no one thinks you popped off there, okay? Stop. Stop, dude. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but like the notion that like, I have one firm belief, okay? If you say based, the likelihood that you are an important voter block diminishes dramatically. The more you use the term based, the less likely it is that you are an important voter, okay? And this is literally just like the type of motherfuckers that say base. That's who's writing this. That you're like, oh, dude, we're groipers. We're fucking groiped up, dude. We're groiped up. We're so groiped up. Which Felix has brought up many times as well. This is the funniest thing, dude. You have a healthy marriage. Oh, I'm so triggered. Yes. Like, fire this person. Fire the person who made this meme, okay? You're so fucking stupid. You're supposed to be like the reasonable Republican in the room. And like how are you appealing to the moderate wine moms that just want tax cuts with this shit? Does he actually think 4chan got Trump elected? Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, I've shown in Florida an ability to win huge swaths of voters that Republicans typically can't win, while also delivering the boldest agenda anywhere in the country. And I think there's a reason why the legacy media is attacking me more than they're attacking anybody else, because I think they realize that if I'm successful in winning the Republican nomination, we're going to bring it home in the general election. And I've pledged to Republican voters, if you nominate me, I will be taking the oath of office on January 20th, 2025 on the West.
Sorting algorithms. I know you're a big fucking Oiler and a big gifter in this community, but if you legitimately think 4chan kind of got Donald Trump elected, I don't know what to tell you, okay? No, 4chan is not the reason why Donald Trump was like one of the most historically recognized, like brand recognition having candidates that ran for the presidency without actually ever holding office. It wasn't fucking 4chan. You know what I mean? Like that didn't happen. 4chan didn't play a role in that. That happened with NBC, okay? Memes do not play as significant a role, or any role at all, as a matter of fact, in getting people out to go out and vote for you.
Side of the Capitol. No excuses. No more excuses about why we can't get it done. We need to get it done, and I will get it done.
You're headed to Iowa. Iowa, as we know, a crucial state when it comes to winning a nomination. Governor, can you win Iowa?
We're going to compete everywhere. Of course we can, but we're competing everywhere. Iowa is very important. We've got an incredible amount of support. I got endorsed by 37 legislators there before I even announced my candidacy. We obviously have a lot in common with Iowa in terms of what Florida's done and what they've done under Governor Kim Reynolds. And I think the groundswell of support has been really, really strong.
Bro, remember when Ted Cruz won Iowa in 2016? And then he became the president after defeating Hillary Clinton, because he became the president of Iowa and then also the president of the Republican Party and then famously the president of the United States of America. Remember when that happened? Oh, yeah, that's right. Donald Trump lost Iowa in 2016 and he was the president. So I don't know about this Iowa.
And, we're going to press the case. I mean, they had mentioned there may be some differences with me and Donald Trump, and I think that those differences redound to my benefit in a place like Iowa. I mean, for example, he's taken the side of Disney in our fight down here in Florida. I'm standing for parents. I'm standing for children. And I think a multi-billion-dollar company that sexualizes children is not consistent with...
Bro, he's still going off the fucking Disney shit. No one cares, dog. Don't come after the treats, stupid. Every conservative that's like, for every one conservative that you think exists because they exist online and all around us, when they're like, oh, I hate Disney, they're satanic pedophiles, there are literally thousands more conservatives who fucking take their kids down to Florida, to Orlando, you dumbass. Disney is more popular than you. Disney is more popular than most presidents, okay? It's literally... it's one of the most popular fucking IPs on the planet. Kids like it. Parents like it because their kids shut the fuck up and enjoy it. You're so stupid that you're like, Mickey Mouse is gay. It's always been gay. You fucking dumbass. There has never been a moment where Disney wasn't fucking gay. Okay? It's Disney. It's so gay. What the fuck? Yeah, also here is a great example of how popular Disney is. Ron DeSantis got married there. Okay? Ron DeSantis got married at fucking Disney World. That's how popular Disney is. You fucking idiot. God damn it, dude.
The values of Florida or the values of a place like Iowa.
Governor, I think a lot of moms would agree with you on that. Certainly when you talk about our kindergartners, I've seen some of the pages.
Did he marry a man? Yeah.
But I want to talk to you for a moment. You're in Jacksonville right now. I was born there. I believe you were born there too. I want to talk to you about Memorial Day, what it means to you, but particularly yesterday, you were
Memorial Day, what it means to you. Like, what does it fucking mean to you? It reminds me of all the veterans, all the lives we lost.
We're at a meeting.
What does Memorial Day mean to Donald Trump? Donald Trump's like, I'm thinking of all the heroes. They died. Like John McCain. Burning in hell.
With 9/11 family members, 9/11 a reason that inspired you to serve yourself. And an attendee of that meeting called it a very moving meeting.
Lame ass.
And a lot of tears were shed. What did those families share with you in that meeting?
Well, I think a lot of it is just they've had a lot of frustrations about getting justice based on the 9/11 attacks. They're suing Saudi Arabia. They're trying to get more documents. They've been made promises in the past about getting help, and then basically some of our elected leaders have reneged on those promises. And so, I think that they've been punched in the gut a number of times, and I think it's been difficult to now be 2 decades later and still trying to get full justice. So. Obviously, it's a very personal thing when you talk about, some of the people at that meeting were teenagers when their fathers died. There was a granddaughter who wasn't even born yet, and so she's lived through the memories of her grandfather who died in the South Tower. And so those are things that I think are still very raw, even a couple decades later. And look, 9/11.
Okay, bro. Like, nah, I don't think... Maybe I'm wrong because I am 9/11 Andy after all. But I'm going to keep it $150. I don't think people give a shit about 9/11. If they did, military recruitment numbers would not be so bad right now, okay? So fucking bad. No, man. Nah, I don't think they give a shit. It's 2023. Who the fuck cares at this point? By the way, let me just explain something real quick. The families of 9/11 victims should absolutely sue the Saudi government. And Barack Obama is a fucking piece of shit for literally standing in opposition to that. Just going to point that out. Barack Obama famously tried to stop that from happening. So I do think that they have every right and should. I'm 100% in support of that. Okay? But if you're like, if you're big, if your big policy is like, 9/11, well, think about how bad it was. That's why I joined the military. Then, good luck. No one fucking cares.
9/11, I was down in Florida. I'm a Florida guy. I didn't have any connection in New York City, but it inspired me to join the Navy, almost 20 years ago. And so it had a profound effect on our country. And obviously to see that right there, the raw emotions from people that were directly impacted was very, very powerful. And it moved my wife and I very much.
On this Memorial Day, Governor, what is your message?
Well, at the end of the day, we have a great country built on great values. We have a great Constitution, a great Declaration of Independence, but those don't run on autopilot. If you don't have people throughout history willing to put on the uniform, risk their lives, and indeed give the last full measure of devotion, none of that's going to amount to very much. And so today is a day to reflect on those that made the ultimate sacrifice, because if you don't have people that are really going to do that, then you really can't have a free society.
Governor, you mentioned sacrifice. And, while today I think about that Bible verse.
God, if he wasn't such a nerd, I would be like, oh my God, I'm panicking. Like, he's just talking about doing fascist things, but he's such a fucking nerd. It is pretty funny. It is pretty funny to see, like, Like the Elizabeth Warren of the Republican Party is just like an Elizabeth Warren type on like the dumbest shit. You know what I mean? Like Elizabeth Warren was like, yeah, we got to make the military more green. You know what I mean? We got to make it more focused on renewable energy. We got like the carbon footprint of the U.S. military is the worst part of the U.S. military, you know? Like, and this guy's like, yeah, I want to make it illegal to, I want to make it illegal to watch a Disney movie if the characters in it look flamboyant. I'm going to pass a bill to do that. It's like sick, dude. Thanks.
So, Governor, you mentioned sacrifice. And, you know, while today I think about that Bible verse and Savior Jesus Christ who did just the same, I'm wondering, you know, I was reading about Casey when she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And you said that you turned to prayer. I'm wondering if you could share with us a time when you turned to God.
Donald Trump needs to say your wife faked having cancer to try to get away from you. He will win every fucking primary if he says that. Ron, you're so boring. Your wife faked having cancer to get away from you. Believe me, she told me. She's hot. Too hot for you, Ron. Little Ron. You're 5'0", little Rob.
And how, in particular, that relationship will inform how you would govern as president?
Well, when she was diagnosed, it was something that hits the family like a ton of bricks. I mean, at the time, we had a 5, a 3, and a 1-year-old kid. And not that this is ever something anyone...
Remember how you say you regretted the long hair because you look like a cliche leftist? Now you're going to regret this cap, dude? No, this is important. I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran who died. Listen, I can't be stealing valor from the American veterans all the time. Sometimes I got to steal valor from the other guys. You know what I mean?
Anyone wants to deal with, but I think for a mother of young kids, it's particularly devastating because you're thinking what could happen. And we made the decision to publicly acknowledge that she was fighting this. You know, we're private people, but we're also public. And so we made the decision. And it was pretty dark, I think, before we did that. Once we did that, though, the amount of prayers that we received from people, not just in Florida, but throughout the country, it made a huge difference. And I saw her spirit be lifted up in ways that probably a lot of people didn't think were possible. So if anyone tells you to doubt the power of prayer, well, I'm an example here with me and my wife where the power of prayer made a big difference. And she was able to get through this. It was not easy, but she was able to get through this, I think, handling it about as well as someone could under the circumstances. And I don't think she would have been able to do that without prayer.
Governor, it is Memorial Day. I served in the Marine Corps. You're a veteran yourself. Going into this election.
Yeah, of course he did. Governor, could you tell me perhaps your favorite crayons to eat? I like red myself, personally. That's my favorite. Got a yummy taste to it. What about yours? Of course, you were a pussy-ass lawyer for the Navy. You didn't even do the chair force. You didn't even actually see combat. You didn't even actually work on the carriers. You were overseeing torture as a lawyer for the Navy, but you know, I still got to ask, what's your favorite color crayon, sir?
Potentially becoming president. We have a war in Ukraine we're financing. We have all this like China trying to attack us from the back door, it seems, through the Pacific. What can be done to stop our country from spilling more blood on a foreign battlefield?
Well, first, I think we need to look.
I love the way these guys talk. Like, oh, we got to stop more blood from being spilled on the battlefield. So I don't even disagree with that sentiment. Obviously, you guys have heard me say this many, many times over. But, like, I want to ask him how he feels about, like, Iraq and Afghanistan before we actually pulled out. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm willing to bet if we go back in time, this guy's been on Fox News a lot. I'm willing to bet he was like, we need to stay there permanently. Sergeant, what is your malfunction?
Look at what's going on with the military right now. And I think the military that I see is different from the military I served in. I see a lot of emphasis now on political ideologies.
Dude, I feel like his brain, like he has no way to process the questions. His brain is so fucking like ready with talking points that he hears military and immediately goes, the military is gay now. Dog, you were in the Navy. You can't make it out without fucking some ass. What do you mean? What the fuck do you mean the military's gay now? You were a lawyer in the Navy. Shut the fuck up. God damn, dude.
Things like gender pronouns. I see a lot about things like DEI. And I think that that's caused recruiting to plummet. I think it's driven off a lot of war.
Once again, I got to repeat this. The DEI stuff for the military is quite literally the exact opposite. Okay? It's to boost recruitment. It's stupid. It's silly. It's not going to work. But the whole, like, the military's more woke now is not actually against recruitment. It's for recruitment. Okay? That's literally the reason why they're doing it. So that they can be like, look, we're so woke. Come on. We need more women in the military. Like that kind of shit. That's literally the point. So the idea that like, oh man, you know, the military, we're going to make it less gay or whatever the fuck. Which again, he's in the Navy or was in the Navy as a lawyer. Okay. He was a Navy lawyer. The idea that is going to, boost recruitment numbers is so stupid.
Warriors, and I think morale is low. So all those issues are important, and we'll be rolling out a really strong program to counter China because I think it is our #1 threat. But I think you've got to get things remoored to focusing on the core mission of why people want to join. Why would you have wanted to join the Marine Corps back in the day? Why do everybody else who joined the Army? I mean, I remember being in Iraq, and we were in Fallujah, and it was not going well, and yet people were still willing to sign up knowing they'd get sent to
DeSantis what was he doing in Fallujah? Overseeing war crimes over there too? Like, I don't get it. Fuck is a Navy lawyer doing in Fallujah, bro? What? What the fuck?
To Iraq because they believed in that this.
No, he said, I remember being in Iraq. Like,
up knowing they'd get sent to Iraq because they believed in that this was something special. And I think we've lost that a little bit. And I think we really need to rejuvenate the morale in the military.
Yeah, he's saying, like, we got to get to the good old days, Abu Ghraib style shit. Like, we got to get back to the fun stuff that we were engaging in, okay? What was he doing? Ron DeSantis touts his military record, but as a lawyer, what did he do in Iraq? Okay. 3 months later, DeSantis is the GOP nominee, blah, blah, blah. He arrived in fall as part of the surge of nearly 30,000 U.S. troops. Okay. Whose mission was to quell insurgencies and turn cities like Fallujah into bloody battle zones, but it was costly, and 961 U.S. troops died that year. Military leaders deemed the surge a conditional success. Coalition and Iraqi forces have dealt with significant blows to Al-Qaeda Iraq. It was around this time the U.S. forces have been ordered to let Iraqis take a greater role in securing the nation. So what did he do? DeSantis' campaign didn't comment on the remarks by Trump, whose endorsement of DeSantis helped him win the GOP nomination for governor. Oh, my God. That's another angle. That's actually another fucking angle. Like, Donald Trump could be like, you served in Iraq and you loved Iraq. Like, you keep saying you love Iraq. You're a loser. During the surge, DeSantis served as a senior legal advisor to the SEAL who commanded the special... Yeah, during the surge, DeSantis served as a senior legal advisor to the SEAL who commanded the Special Operations Task Force West in Fallujah. Oh my God, I was just joking when I said he just oversaw war crimes. But that's actually what he did. He was there to... Oh no. He was responsible for helping ensure that the missions of the Navy SEALs and Army Green Berets in the wide swath of the western Euphrates River Valley were planned according to the rule of law that captured detainees were humanely treated. He did a phenomenal job, Thorleif Sins said of DeSantis. It was a pretty complex time with Iraqi sovereignty starting to take a hold. During this period, task force troops rounded up 100 detainees, said Thorlifson. They were mostly military-age males, some of whom were found with suicide vests, while others were simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. And Ron DeSantis oversaw the torture of all 100 of them. It was up to DeSantis, the lone lawyer with a Judge Advocate General Corps, JAG, to not only assure that the men were treated humanely and interrogated in accordance with the Geneva Conventions and the U.S. military regulations, but to make sure that, when warranted, they were handed off to the proper legal authorities in Iraq for prosecution in that country's nascent judicial system. That's crazy. His job literally was to oversee the torture. Oh my God. It's like one of the components of the Iraq war. Like, he wins no votes with this, okay? He wins no votes with this because, one, people who have served in the military already are like, oh, dude, fuck this guy. He was literally a pencil pusher he was a Navy lawyer, okay? So even people who serve don't have a good opinion of him. I mean, of course, Yale grad, Harvard grad, by the way. Direct officer program, like, internally, even people who are in the military are not going to like him. And then one of the least favorable parts of U.S. military operations is literally the fucking torture. So, like, not a single person would look to this guy and go, wow, it's so great. I think you overestimate voters. Most will think he served. They won't look up the details. No, they will look up the details when Donald Trump says you were a gay-ass lawyer for the torture the torture apparatus of the U.S. military in a war that everyone knew was bad, that I said was bad, and actually defeated Hillary Clinton by saying it was bad. That's it. That's all you got to say. Real life is not like A Few Good Men. Wait, what do you mean? What does A Few Good Men have to do with this? Didn't Trump say he won't partake in the debates, though? It doesn't even fucking matter. He doesn't have to partake in debates. He can just do pot shots. He could just sit there and fucking slam him from Truth Social and then have that be elevated by, like, every side of the media. God, Trump really needs to get back on Twitter. I'm not going to lie. Your boy Khaled, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Okay.
So we will do that on day one, and you will see very big changes in the services.
Thank you very much, Governor DeSantis.
That was so bad. He is so uncharismatic. Here's